Dear students, in this session we will start design of gear. We know that gear is an important mechanical element which is used for different applications where the power or motion transmission is the prime requirement. In this particular session, we will go through few videos which are also available on the YouTube. These videos are considered in this particular session to understand how the gear mechanisms were understood by the early BCs. Also, how clearly the concept were clear in earlier days. We will also see what is mechanical drive, different mechanical drives, and how the gear drive is important for the power transmission as well as for the motion transmission. In this particular session, we will also see the different possible materials for the gear and also the different possible manufacturing processes for the gear. Dear friends, let's start the topic design of gear. In this particular session, we will see few examples regarding how gear mechanisms were used in earlier days to drive the different mechanisms. So let's start with the first example, which is nothing but the water power sawmill. You can see here the flowing water is driving this giant wheel. This water flow is used to drive the gear, which ultimately drives the inside gear mechanism and provides the motion to the hacksaw. See, which provides motion to the hacksaw to cut the wooden log. The motion to the hacksaw is provided by the 4-bar mechanism. Also, the ratchet mechanism is attached to give the forward movement to the wooden log. Another example is regarding wooden gear mechanism to operate the window blinds. You can see here there is a gear train which is used to lift the window blinds, all the strips of the window blinds. Okay. So indirectly, by providing the motion to one of the gear, which will drive this another gear, which is attached to the all the slides of the window blind with help of wire, and thereby this particular mechanism is used to lift the window slides of the window blind up and down. Also, there is another gear mechanism provided at the other end of the window over here, which will tilt the window slides to open and close the window. So this one is also a good example regarding how the gear mechanism were used in earlier days. Let's see another example. This particular example regarding how the gear mechanism is used to have latch for the doors. So this particular example is regarding wooden rack and pinion mechanism for latch for the doors.
The other door attaches to that, but I had this idea of making sort of a combination latch that is almost like a barricade bar that goes across both doors.
See, this one is the wooden latch.
I designed the rack and pinion for that door latch using my gear generator program.
Rack
and then put it
and pinion,
cut it out on the band
where rack is nothing but the gear
really nicely.
having infinite diameter. Means all the tooth profiles are arranged in a linear direction. See how the rack is assembled with the pinion, okay, and how it is operated as a latch to close the door. The lever is provided to give movement to the pinion, and by providing the motion to the pinion, we can operate the latch of the door. Let's see the another history regarding how the gears were configured, okay, how the gears were prepared to transmit the motion from one shaft to another shaft. In this particular gear, the wooden cylindrical small sticks were attached at the one of the circular faces of the cylinder, while in this particular gear, the wooden cylindrical sticks were attached at the lateral surface of the small wooden cylinder to design or to configure as a gear. So these are the examples of primitive gears. Wooden gears were first used in door drive mechanisms for temples and caves. Also for the water lifting mechanism 2600 BC in India and elsewhere. Another example is of the water powered grain mill. You can see over here that flowing water is driving this giant wheel. The motion of this giant wheel is transmitted to this smaller wheel over here, and this smaller wheel provides motion to the smaller gear over here. So these two gears, this one and this one, configure like a bevel gear which transmit the motion in a perpendicular axis. You can see that this particular gear is having the motion in horizontal direction, or you can say in a direction which is perpendicular to your viewing plane, while this smaller gear is having axis which is vertical. So thereby this flowing water is driving wheel which transfer the motion to the smaller wheel over here in the same direction, while the engagement of this smaller wheel which is attached to the grain mill inside this box, which transmits motion into vertical axis. So this one is another example regarding how in earlier days the gear mechanism were used to drive the grain mills or to operate the grain mills. This is nothing but the sketch of the chariot using the worm gears. The German artist Albrecht Dürer knew the concept of gearing, which helped him in sketching them accurately. See over here, these two particular highlighted or marked mechanism or marked components are nothing but the worm gear mechanism. These two gear, one over here and this worm, will form a worm gear mechanism. The concept of gear mechanism was earlier also known, and people were using that concept to have the different operating drives, which can be cleared from this drawing. The vehicle was driven by worm gears on all four wheels. Two you can see on this side and two on the back side. So this one is also one example which states that in earlier days also the people were know the concept of gearing and gear mechanism. This another example is the example related to cycloidal gear. You can see over here, this is the cycloidal gear mechanism which was used in Watt engines, which is the first engine to produce the power directly to the shaft. In 18th century, industrial revolution in England led to usage of cycloidal gear for clocks, irrigation devices, water mills and powered machines. So this particular figure gives the glimpse of the contribution of cycloidal gear to the engine application. Next we will see what is mechanical drive. So mechanical drive is defined as a mechanism which is intended to transmit mechanical power over a certain distance. The transmission of power over a certain distance is usually done while involving change in speed and torque. The drive is required between prime mover such as motors and part of operating mechanism. The examples of mechanical drives are belt drive, chain drive and gear drive. You can see over here the first figure represents the belt drive, means two pulleys are connected with help of belt. So this bigger pulley is attached to the prime mover or electrical motor, okay, which is connected to the smaller wheel, means the motion of the motor is transmitted to this driven mechanism via the belt. The another example is of the chain drive. This is familiar as all of you have ride the bicycle. This one is the gear drive mechanism. In case of belt drive, there are chances of slippage, and thereby the efficiency of transmission of the motion using the belt drive is comparatively less. Means we cannot achieve the constant velocity ratio. So a positive drive is free from slippage and thus provides constant velocity ratio. Means we can say that here gear drive is the positive drive as there is no slippage. A non-positive drive cannot provide fixed velocity ratio due to slippage. So there are two types of drive, positive drives and non-positive drives. There is nothing like a negative drive. So positive drive is the one in which the slippage is not there. The gear drive is the typical example of the positive drive, and non-positive drive is the one in which the slippage is there, and because of that it cannot provide the fixed velocity ratio. Okay? The belt drive mechanism, belt pulley mechanism is the good example of the non-positive drive. Now what is gear? So gears are toothed member, means gears are having gear tooth on the lateral surface of the cylindrical block. So the gears are toothed members which transmit power or motion between two shafts by meshing without any slip, because the gear drive is the positive drive, so slip is not there. Hence the gear drives are called positive drives. In any pair of gears, the smaller one is called pinion. So in this particular figure, this one is the pinion and the larger one is called gear. This one is called as gear, which is irrespective of which is driving and which one is driven. Means irrespective of driver and driven mechanism, driven element, the smaller gear is always known as pinion, while the larger one is always known as gear. Although both the element pinion is also a gear, but due to its smaller size, which is it is known as pinion. When pinion is the driver, okay, when this one is connected to the smaller gear, is connected to the prime mover, it results in step down drive, in which the output speed decreases and the torque increases. And when the gear is the driver, means this bigger wheel is connected to the prime mover. It results into step-up drive, in which the output speed increases and the torque decreases. I think this is clear. Right? Okay. Now we will see the different materials for the gear. The carburizing steel, nitrate steel, grey cast iron. Here the carburizing steel, nitrate steel and grey cast iron, these three materials are mainly used for heavy power transmission capacity, and these three materials provide the higher surface strength, because in design of gear the importance is given to the surface strength of the gear tooth. So the carburizing steel, nitrate steel and grey cast iron, these three materials are typically used for the higher power transmission capabilities, and these three materials provide the higher surface strength. Nodular and ductile cast iron. These two materials have the good casting properties, so we can have the gears with minimum or very less defects due to casting. Another is the bronze. The bronze materials are used for the low power transmission facility. Where we require the low power transmission, we can go for the bronze. Generally, the smaller size of the gears for the low power transmission capacities are made up of bronze. Few non-metals like plastic, wood and reinforced laminates, which are providing the noiseless operation, and they are low cost gears. So non-metals gears are also used, especially for the toys and clocks. Now we will see the different manufacturing processes for gear. First one is the machining. In machining, different operations are there. These are the few examples. While we can manufacture the gear using the milling machine by providing the indexing. We can also have the broaching, which is nothing but the multi-cutting edge tool like this long rod, which is used to have this type of internal gear tooth. Okay. Also the hobbing tool can be used to manufacture the gears. Also the form cutting can be used to have the different manufacturing of the different gears, which are having the different types of gear tooth profile. So based on the gear tooth profile, we can have the cutter like this, different cutters, and using this different cutters we can have the manufacturing of the gears. So this type of manufacturing process is nothing but the form cutter. Also the casting is one of the manufacturing process. Stamping, for the ductile material generally stamping is used to have the manufacturing of the gear for the small size. Also the coining is again nothing but the pressed stamping, cold drawing, rolling and extrusion. Also the powder metallurgy, which is generally used for the plastic gear or the gears made up of non-metallic material. Also the plastic molding, again these last two manufacturing processes, these two manufacturing processes are generally used for the non-metallic manufacturing of the non-metallic gears.